Always going to do this right up till midnight.
Hello, this is our proposal phase 1 for CSE 412 ZAO, and what our group is doing is an online bookstore which will be run using MySQL as well as PHP, making it a web application. This will be developed by Raquel Fierros, Takeyuki Oshima, me, Arvind Narasimhan, Kevin Shannon, as well as Neha Shah, and we are Group 26 in Canvas. Here we will go over the project overview. As you can see, the main purpose of the project is to design and implement an online bookstore system. Now this system will have two different types of users, both customers and administrators. And the project is designed for customers who use the bookstore to purchase books and for admin to add or remove books. Now, when the customer purchases books, they will do so by placing the book into the cart. And by tracing the customer ID, the cart ID, and the ISBN number, we will be able to keep track of who purchases or rents what book. Now, we will be keeping track of this in a database using MySQL, as well as PHP to be the programming language. Now, using PHP, our application will be a web application. Here we see our entity relationship diagram. Starting at the top, we see users, which have their own username, password, and name. Now, a user could be a customer or an administrator. Therefore, there's an ISA relationship right there. And the customer has unique ID, email, and customer ID. So those are the keys. And it has address and phone number as other attributes. Admin has one attribute being admin ID. Now, a customer can shop with at most one cart, and a cart belongs to at most one customer, indicating a one-to-one relationship between those two entities. The total price and basket ID are attributes of the cart, with basket ID being the key for the cart. Now, if we take our attention to books, books can be contained in at most one cart, but a cart can contain any number of books. Books also are supplied by at most one vendor, and have to be supplied by one vendor in order to be a book. But vendors can do any number of books and supply any number of books. And a book is a copy of, at most, and at least once, of a title, because that's what a book is. It's one copy of one title. But a title can have any number copy of books. So, looking at that, we see a lot of the relationships. But what is interesting is title with genre is a weak entity set, because genre has no keys, meaning that none of its attributes can uniquely define this entity. So it is owned by the title entity. And the title is written by one author or many authors, but it has to be at least one author. And an author must write or could not write a title, but they will have a user ID, name, URL, and address as attributes. Now, moving back to the administrator entity, a book can be removed by at most one administrator, and a book can be added by at most one administrator. This makes sense because an administrator can go through and add and delete any number of books, but each book could have been added or deleted by at most one administrator. Here I will go over key entity relations that will help form the tables used in our database. Now, these relations include customer and cart, where each customer has exactly one unique cart, and cart belongs to only one customer, and cart and book, where a cart can contain any amount of books, but a book can only be in one cart. So this indicates a one-to-many relationship. The same with title and genres. Title can have many genres and can be written by many authors. But a book can only have one vendor and one title, and it must have at least one, must have at most one. Where an author also has a unique ID, genres do not. Genre is a weak entity set owned by title.